What's going on, everyone? You're back with your boy Jono for another quick math lesson. Today we're going to look at another type of income, and this is called piecework, where you get paid for what you actually produce. The idea behind piecework is really simple. If you produce something, one piece of work, you get paid for that amount that you do. This again has a lot of pros and cons that are similar to our commission. You get paid more for being really good at your job. I know I've had jobs before where me and someone else are making the exact same amount of money and they haven't done anything for the whole shift, and it feels a little bit unfair. With piecework, if you're working harder, you will get paid more. The other really good thing about piecework is that you can charge more if you're really good at your job. For example, I used to get my haircut in the back of a 7-Eleven for $5 per haircut, and guess what? The haircut wasn't that good. I wasn't charged very much because the guy's skill wasn't that great. But now if you're walking around Melbourne or Sydney, you could get a haircut for $60 or something like that. These guys will be better at cutting hair because they're charging more because they're really good at what they do. We do have some of the same cons that we did have with commission. The first one is misadventure. If you hurt your hands and you have to make something, you might be out of action for a couple of weeks and not be able to get paid. This could be for you or for your family members. Say you've got to look after someone that's sick, you might not be able to work from home because you have to be producing work. The other thing that could impact this is factors outside of your control. So let's say the whole economy is going really badly. People might not have as much money to spend freely, so you might not get paid. Even though you're still great at your job, you're not selling any of the pieces of work that you produce. With piecework, we will often still have retainers and sliding scales, and we do just need to be aware of that based on what the question looks like. But our sliding scales and retainers need to be included when we try to make a decision. Which job should I take? How much am I going to get paid? All of these things do come into play. A really easy example of this is a shearer. You get paid based on how many sheep you get through in one day. So there was a news.com article from 2022 in Australia saying that people get $4 per sheep shorn, and some of them can do 300, 400 sheep in a day. So how much are you going to get paid if you sheared 250? In this example, all you've got to do is how much you're getting paid, the $4, that's your rate, multiplied by that 250, that's 1 day, and then we've got to multiply it by 5. So this is equal to $5,000, which is unbelievable money. But what you've got to remember is that people aren't getting this money all the time or every week throughout the whole year. There are only specific times when you can get paid, when the sheep actually need to be shorn. This next example, we're going to look at a hairdresser that's been given two options by their boss. The first one is, hey, you get paid $22 per haircut every single time. That's your flat rate. The other person's going to get $18 per haircut, but you also get a $200 retainer every week. Which one should you take? The most important information here is knowing what's the average amount of haircuts you could give in a day. And for this example, we're going to say it's 12, or maybe that's what your boss says. So we've got to work out which one's better value for you, not just with money, but also what provides a good safety net. Option A is pretty easy to work out. $22 is the rate multiplied by how many you do, 12. 22 times 12 is 1 day's worth of work, and then we've got to multiply that by 5 to get our full answer. Throw this into the calculator, you get $1,320. That's a great week of work. For option B, it's the exact same process. We've got the $18 that we were making multiplied by 12, multiplied by 5. This is how much money we're just going to get from the haircuts. But because we have that $200 retainer or $200 added on, we've got to include that as well. If we throw this into the calculator, we get $1,280 for the week. So which one would you choose? Option A did make more money, $40 more per week. But option B is probably a little bit safer. Let's say not as many people come into the hairdresser that week, you might not make as much money. So having that safety net could be more important for you. These are the things you've got to think about when you do get into the workforce. How are you going to get paid? Because your employee does want to save as much money as possible, and you obviously want to make as much as possible. Thanks so much for watching this lesson, and I'll see you later.